In what ways does our media product use or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? One of the ways which our media product adapts to the conventions of real horror movies is through our choice of location. We originally wanted to use an old cottage, but we couldn't find an appropriate one to use, so we decided to create the environment which we wanted. We used our school's drama studio by manipulating with the light. We were able to create a suitable setting. We used dark and red lighting, which are used in most horror movies, to create a terrifying, mysterious, and spine chilling atmosphere. Using red lighting was effective because the color red connoted danger, which suggested that the gypsy is dangerous, while the color black signifies death and evilness, which links to the gypsy being evil. The combination of these colors helps in creating a petrifying atmosphere. Another way our media product conforms to other horror movies is through our choice of props. Our props included candles lit with fire, hot, salt, and a spell book and papers which had hieroglyphic writing and religious symbols on it. The candles that were lit by fire, which was inspired by Tia Dalma's Den from Pirates of the Caribbean, connotes danger, while the chicken heart was inspired by the title sequences from American Horror Story, all help in adding a creepy dimension to it. The spell book, which we created ourselves by taking an old dictionary and burning the edges and a few pages to make it look old, helps in making it more realistic, because it's what you'd expect to see in a gypsy's den. We were also inspired by the Ouija board from Paranormal Activity, so we decided to have religious symbols and hieroglyphics, which we printed with papers soaked in tea bags to make look ancient. Another way which our movie complies to the norms of other horror movies is through the soundtrack we chose. It, like most other horror movie soundtracks, sounds quite memorable and dramatic. This is effective because it helps to build up suspense and tension, which keeps the audience interested in watching the movie. The soundtrack also mimics a heartbeat. This makes it seem like it's Jason's heartbeat, reflecting how tense and scared he is. Our media product reinforces the conventions about gypsies because of the choice of costume. She was wearing a corset-like blouse and a layered black skirt with hooped earrings and a scarf. All of these are what you'd expect a gypsy to wear. Her makeup was also quite dark and mysterious. This fits perfectly with the character we were trying to create.
How does your media product represent particular groups? We included a gypsy in our film after researching films of similar genre. We found that they were often conveyed as powerful and dominant as opposed to other characters. For example, in Pirates of the Caribbean, the gypsy is the most knowledgeable character and holds the most authority, even when faced against seemingly stronger male characters. On one hand, it challenges the stereotype that women are unable to defend themselves, and on the other, it reinforces the stereotype that women are the only gender that can be identified as gypsies. We allowed for the husband to be dominant and selfish as to what decisions were made, and the wife somewhat subservient and powerless.
What was you going to tell me, huh?
I was going to tell you there was just never a right time.
I'm alright, right, listen, alright? You can have that baby.
No!
Huh?
No, it's my baby.
We found that media often portrays relationships in this way. For example, in films such as Paranormal Activity, it is often the female who seems more vulnerable and prone to getting attacks, whereas the male is the projector and decision maker. We decided to use this to make the audience more empathetic towards the female because she has no option in whether to decline or accept her husband's decision.
What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why? We chose Film District to distribute our movie. Film District is an independent distribution company founded by Graham King and Timothy Headington. They are known for distributing low-budget movies like Insidious. We chose them to distribute our movie because they turn low-budget movies into huge successes. For example, Insidious, which was made with a budget of $1.5 million, made over $97 million worldwide. We therefore thought they would be able to distribute our movie to a large number of people. We also chose them because most of the movies they have distributed have a similar audience to ours. We thought they would be able to understand our movie and the idea behind it and also distribute it successfully, as they have done with their past movies. Film District would be a good company to distribute our movie because our movie is a supernatural horror, and Film District have distributed similar supernatural horror movies to us, such as Insidious. We think that they would want to distribute our movie because although our movie is similar to Insidious, it has a different storyline and it's also quite unique and different to other supernatural movies out there. Some of the movies they have produced also have similar characters to the characters in our movie. For example, the character in Insidious, who is the possessed child, we also have a character in our film who is possessed.
How did you attract and address your audience? After researching into what subgenres people aged 16 and upwards were most interested in, we decided to make a supernatural-based film, including themes such as a character being possessed or corrupted by a force of evil. This research gave us further insight into what would work most effectively and what props to include, one being an old book which gave the appeal that it holds mystery and supernatural qualities. We also looked at films such as Drag Me to Hell to gain further knowledge in meeting conventions. Candle lights, traditionally used in spiritual practice, were effective because it immediately creates oddity in its setting. Although we had already chosen a gypsy character, the film gave us more of an idea of what they stereotypically wore, which was long dresses, typically black, and dark makeup.
Who would be the audience for your media product? At first, we did not know what age group our media product would attract, which meant we had to do some sort of research to know what the public would like and what they would pay for. As a group, we decided that the only way we will get this information was by doing a questionnaire. What we discovered in our questionnaire was that supernatural horror was not as popular as an action horror. This gave us an opportunity to take an unpopular type of horror and make it interesting for people to enjoy. Also, we found that men were ones who would find supernatural horror more enjoyable than girls would. We took this into consideration and decided to make the main character a male. We believe that making the character a male would appeal to male audiences because they would be able to relate to the character and enjoy the movie much more because of this. We also wanted to appeal to women, not just men, so we added a character that went against stereotypes. Usually women are the ones getting possessed and the males are more dominant. But in our film opening, we decided to make a woman a gypsy and make her dominant. Finally, our research shows that people from the age of 16 to 25 will usually enjoy these type of films. We think this may be because they enjoy fantasy and a supernatural horror gives them that and a little scare.
What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? Through the process of constructing the product, we have learned different types of editing techniques, both to edit sounds and clips. For example, there were a lot of background noises on some of the clips, which made the product unprofessional. So to get rid of these noises, we have used denoiser and dehammer, and changed the levels of different categories within them to make it look professional, so that the background sound on every single one of clip has disappeared. We have learned how to give special effects to the video, as we have made the clip transparent and put it on top of another clip to give the effect of horror. We have also learned how to crop videos and put them together to make them complete correct. We had to split videos from sounds to add different effects onto them individually, which we did not know before. We knew how to use the software iMovie before the construction of this product, which is an amateur software. The school has provided us with a professional software, which is Adobe Premiere. So through the construction, we have learned how to use the software as professionals. This process of construction has taught us how to use cameras in a professional way. Everybody is an amateur cameraman nowadays, but to become a professional, practical education is needed. Thanks to the product, we have learned this in the easiest way, which means that it was so helpful. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learned in the progression from it to the end? I think that preliminary task has helped us to learn how to use different kinds of techniques without any mistake. Most of us didn't know a lot about how to create different camera angles in different types of shots using the camera. And we didn't know about the 180-degree rule, which we have used in our opening scene to make it look consistent. This has improved our shooting, acting and editing techniques, which was very helpful through the construction of our final product. It has also taught us how to put our ideas together and create a short movie out. And through that, we have learned how to create a proper opening scene from the experience of preliminary task. Lastly, it has helped us to know how to use technologies to help making a professional product. It taught us how to organize and share tasks throughout the construction of the final product. So we knew who would be shooting, acting, directing and editing.
Come on, alright. To you, my friend can have that baby.
Oh my god, what is that?